Hi, Leo. No problem. I'll see you later. Good luck with whatever you gotta do. Hi, Aubrey. Welcome in. How are you? I was just pinging the Discord to let them know that we are live on YouTube. And I'll get some music going again in just a second here. Hi, Denki. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Okay, let me get our music back up. Trying out a new mood from YouTube. See, usually I do the calm mood, but I'm trying the happy mood. But the last song was called Uwu Victory, and this is called Farm Country. But I'm just gonna give people a couple more minutes before I start reading the chapter. But how are you guys doing? How's your Wednesday going? Tristan Skylar, welcome in. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Come to the YouTube side. You can't hear me? Can Aubrey and Tristan's, can you hear me? I can turn down my desktop audio if you need me to, but I will have that off for the reading. And I'll probably go ahead and start turning that down in a bit, but can y'all hear me? I'm gonna go and check. Can y'all hear me? Had to turn my volume all the way up. Oh no, it's the quiet speaking voice strikes again. I'm sorry for Wi-Fi is giving you trouble, Denki. Okay, we're gonna dramatically fade out of the copyright free music, so that we can get into our fanfic reading. Okay, guys, so this is a big chapter. This is chapter 5. Just did. You're able to hear? Are you able to hear, Denki? But so, guys, this is love the background. Thank you. I got it from. Oh, I realized my little figure is a little high. She's like bouncing off the screen. Can I fix that? I guess not. No. That's fine. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. Yeah, the background is from Unsplash. So it's a real photo. One day I want to draw my own, but for now this works perfectly. I'm sorry, Denki. I hope you're able to get it fixed. But there will be a VOD, so you'll be able to revisit this. But are you guys ready to get into the fanfic reading? I'm sorry, Denki. That's such a bummer. But yeah, are you guys ready to get into chapter 5 of the MHA Band AU fanfic? Scream it so I know you mean it. Any what's the word? Any qualms? Any any issues with me getting into the fanfic? If I see no complaints, I'll start reading. Which means once I can hear you again. Yay! That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Denki. Good, because I'm just about to get into the reading, which means while I'm reading, I won't be able to look at chat, but afterwards I will catch up with y'all and y'all can ask any questions or anything. So let's get into it. So this is chapter 5. We're no hero agenda. Okay. Let me get serious now. Their first show was tonight. The thought ricocheted through Izuku's head, rattling his skull like a buzz roll. Not quite true, though. It was his first show. The others had played stages before, felt the heat of the lights, the roar of the crowd. Izuku, on the other hand, had barely worked up the nerve to upload a video of himself singing alone in his bedroom. He clutched his guitar case tightly to his chest, only to yelp in a regrettably high pitch when a large hand clapped down on his shoulder. Midoriya! Bro, breathe! Kirishima grinned, giving his shoulder a friendly shake. You look more nervous than Amajiki. I didn't even know that was possible. Amajiki groaned half-heartedly from the seat in front of him. They were all squished together in Aizawa's van on the way to the venue. Katsuki had shotgun, apparently an unspoken rule. Izuku had quietly taken the back row with Kirishima, but he was starting to worry that his pre-show jitters were combining with a touch of car sickness. Prompted by another firm squeeze on his shoulder, Izuku inhaled slowly through his nose and let the breath out through his mouth. Thankfully, his lunch didn't come with it. He repeated the motion, trying to focus on the air moving in and out of his lungs. That's better. We can't have our new superstar falling apart before the show. Kirishima beamed, and Izuku flushed pink. I don't know about all that, Izuku mumbled, but Kirishima was already mid-hype. This is gonna be amazing, you guys! Kirishima cheered, pumping a fist in the air. With this group, crowd's gonna go crazy. Mina's snagged front row. She'll get the full scoop on how people react. Let's blow the fucking roof off, Shinso muttered, arms crossed, eyes still closed. Kirishima gasped, then leaned in to whisper, loudly, in Izuku's ear. If he's gonna sing like that, he's really excited. Quit your yapping, Katsuki barked from the front of the van, just as Izuku caught Aizawa shooting him a tired glare in the rearview mirror. We're gonna go out there, play like rents fucking do, same as always, and they'll come their pants over it, same as always. Izuku's stomach plummeted. His face was on fire. What kind of motivational speech was that? Cussing doesn't really mean anything for Bakugo, Kirishima continued, back in whisper mode. But he does sound nervous. It's kinda new. Izuku could only nod in response. Nervous looked very different on Kachan. They pulled up to the grungy bar, greeted by a couple of guys smoking by the side entrance. No one said much as they grabbed their gear and got to work. Their gear was in place. Soundcheck had been a blur. Now they lingered just out of sight near the backstage door, caught in that limbo between silence and spotlight. Izuku fidgeted with his guitar, tuning it a second time as his leg bounced uncontrollably. He didn't mean to, but his eyes kept drifting toward Katsuki. He wore his usual deep scowl, rolling his wrists and snapping his drumsticks against his palm. He hadn't said a word, but even in the silence, his energy was boiling, like he was moments from detonation. Shinso stood nearby, a cigarette tucked behind his ear, fingers flexing and curling like he was practicing ghost note riffs in his head. His eyes were half-lidded, posture loose, but there was a tension in his jaw that gave him away. Tamaki murmured something under his breath, gently tapping his foot in a steady rhythm. His fingers fluttered in the air, miming a familiar chord progression across invisible keys, grounding himself through muscle memory. Kirishima paced in slow loops, strumming an invisible bass, head bobbing to a song only he could hear. When he caught Izuku watching, he grinned wide and toothy. Izuku managed a small smile in return. By the time the performance was about to start, The relentless drone of feedback was thunderous in Izuku's head. The air reeked of cigarettes and spilled beer, and each step on the floor peeled off with a sticky smack. But then he heard it, a small chant from the crowd, then another. And suddenly that tight coil of nerves in Izuku's gut twisted into something else entirely. Exhilaration. 2 minutes, Aizawa muttered, raising 2 fingers in a lazy peace sign to make sure they all caught it. Stiff nods all around. They were as ready as they'd ever be. When the stage lights flared to life, Kirishima exploded forward like he'd been launched from a cannon. "Who's ready to make some noise?" he roared. No mic needed. His voice filled the space, raw and infectious. Shinso, Izuku, and Tamaki followed a step behind, taking their positions. Izuku's eyes widened as he caught sight of the crowd already packed in front of the stage, drinks in hand, whooping and hollering they'd been waiting for this. The pink-haired girl screamed from the front row, waving both arms in the air. "Must be Mina." Then thunk. The heavy sound of Katsuki's boots behind him as he stepped up to the kit. He snatched the mic like it owed him money. "We're no hero agenda," he growled, voice low and feral, "and we're here to blow your fucking minds." The crowd ignited, roaring back with raw, unfiltered energy. Izuku sucked in one last breath. Then came the snap of drumsticks. Katsuki's count-in, sharp and final. The first notes growled to life, a low, distorted snarl of guitar. Then came an explosion of drums and Katsuki's voice, screaming like the walls couldn't hold him. It was loud, raw, and the crowd was immediately swept up in it. Their first track in the setlist was a true showcase of Katsuki's raw power and Shinso's composed intensity. "Scars" by I Prevail. Izuku fought the urge to lose himself in the storm of sound. Every beat from Katsuki hit like a punch to the gut, while Shinso twisted the distortion and pedals into something gritty, steady, and dangerous. Kirishima matched the song's ferocity with his entire body. He headbanged, bounced with the beat, locked eyes with the crowd, and even flashed a wink at Mina, all while anchoring the low end with perfect pacing and weight. Tamaki's presence was ghost-like, slipping into quiet pockets of the song and weaving in textures that made the intensity settle deep in everyone's bones. Izuku let the music carry him, his strumming steady as stone, laying the foundation beneath the chaos. His harmonies trailed Katsuki's screams like a soft echo, quiet, but there. By the time the song came to its crashing end, the crowd vibrated with energy. Drinks sloshed out of plastic cups onto the ground, and sweaty bodies pushed together as they cheered, ready for the set to continue. As Izuku let the last chord ring out, he mentally prepared himself for the next track. If Scars had been a testament to Katsuki and Shinso's explosive power, this next track was Izuku's attempt to soften that blow. Seeing the crowd's enthusiasm for the start of the performance made him a little uncertain if he had made the right call. But too late to make changes now. Since their first practice together had gone so well, Let It Die by 3 Days Grace felt like a natural addition to tonight's show. Just like with his audition, Izuku let himself be engulfed by the song, allowing his love for the music to drown out any fears about the crowd. Just like his audition, all eyes were on him now. But this time, Izuku didn't freeze. He leaned into the mic like it was the only thing keeping him upright, heart hammering, hands steady, voice ready to burn. He had been an accessory in the first song. Now he was the true showpiece. The crowd continued to headbang along to the thrum of the chorus, but now they began to share glances with the people next to them. Izuku's voice commanded their attention, and when Katsuki's screams torn beside it, the crowd didn't just listen, they worshipped. At some point in their performance, someone in the front row splashed beer across Izuku's shoes. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Kirishima drop a pick and recover with practiced ease, already pulling another from his back pocket. Katsuki's tank was soaked through now, sweat darkening the fabric, muscles flexing with every brutal hit. It was chaos. It was control. It was everything. The song ended in a roar, instruments fading until all that remained were the jeers and chants of a crowd that wasn't done yet. Izuku shivered. Time for the closing song. You've been amazing, he called into the mic with a bright smile, prompting another surge of cheers. This is our last one for the night. Thank you all for coming out. The earnestness in his voice felt especially raw after the firestorm of their earlier set, but he couldn't hide his sincere gratitude. The next song began, atmospheric and moody, just like Tamaki had suggested. Just Pretend by Bad Omens. It started like a quiet confession, a sonic plea. The crowd stilled, caught by the shift. Izuku's body language softened, transforming with the tone of the music. He strummed each chord with reverence, sang every word like a promise. When the chorus hit, the crowd erupted. Izuku cried into the mic as the band roared behind him. Then came the hush of the verse, a silence so tense the crowd held their breath. When the chorus returned, Katsuki's screams joined him, layering fire beneath Izuku's ache. He was gone now, consumed by the song, his heart laid bare in every note. When he looked up, had he looked up, he would have seen his new bandmates, just as caught. Their hearts beat to the tempo Katsuki set behind them. They played like the song was keeping them alive, and the crowd felt the current ripple through them like an avalanche. For the final lines, Izuku let go of his guitar, clutching the mic stand like it was the only thing keeping him grounded. He sang the last words like a prayer. Then, silence. For a breath, the crowd held still. Then the room exploded. Applause, cheers, and the sharp static of pure emotional release. Suddenly vulnerable without his armor of sound, Izuku clutched the mic, overwhelmed. He turned to his bandmates, breathing hard, sweat trickling down his temples, eyes wide as the crowd roared. They looked at one another, silent, stunned. And in that moment, they all felt it. Whatever this was, together, they were a force. And that is the whole chapter. That is chapter 5. How did I get so far? Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick. Oh no, not the bad Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm so sorry. Drop a pic failure. I had a feeling Leo was gonna have comments about the technical. I know Tristan's. Don't worry. I'm gonna go on TikTok live after this so we can hang out. Think Wi-Fi hates you, G. Yay, glad I caught some of the reading. Welcome in, Aries. Hope you enjoyed the bit you were able to hear. This was the band's first performance together. Oh, Tristan's, I'm glad you like my voice. Hopefully this was a good reading today. Oh, low distortion. Ew, JK, low distortion sounds alright if you do it right. I try my best to kind of capture what the actual music things would be. But yeah, so Tristan's chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 are also available to listen to on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist with all of them, but you can also read it on Archive of Our Own. So whatever you prefer. Um, wait, let me see. I think I only have top chat showing. Let me do live chat. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, no, thankfully I don't think I've missed anything. But yeah, did you guys like it? It would probably be overdrive into distortion most of the time. Yeah. Yes, Leo. I know what that means. Are you going to color K-pop Bakugo this time? Yes, Denki. I think I have a little more. I have to finalize a little more of the line art, like on his clothes and the beads on his hat. But yeah, I think we're pretty much at coloring phase once that's done. Thank you guys for all of the likes and reactions and stuff. That's really sweet, guys. But yeah, any other questions before we head over to TikTok and we get back to our usual drawings shenanigans and stuff? Let me use back a little music just to close things out, 'cause that feels very professional streamer to do. Let me. Okay, little music to close out. You could, I might be on my own stream later too, but still have yours open. Wonder if he's, ooh, that could be fun, Leo. What kind of stream are you going to be doing? It'd be fun to chat while we stream. I'm down for that. But yeah, no, let's tentatively plan on that. That sounds fun. Perfect. Yeah, we could like figure out how to co-stream whatever that entails. At minimum, definitely. VCing would be fun. Let's plan on it. Well, I'm gonna hop over to TikTok now, but yeah, Leo, you just keep me updated on Discord, or pop into my chat, whatever works for you. On your stream plans so that we can coordinate. But until then, we'll see y'all on TikTok in just a bit. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for the live reading. See y'all soon.